And this is Tom, and what I'm going to do now is show you how to use some of the fonts that I created. And these right here are actually some characters I created. I was playing around to see what that looked like, and to show you that, you know, even though you're using the font creation tool, your fonts don't necessarily need to be letters. So let's go ahead and look at what we got real quick. So I've got some miscellaneous fonts here, and you can see some arrows, check mark, all that stuff. I've got some call out boxes. You'll have some other arrows, additional ones, different shape sizes. And a lot of them are kind of look repetitive, but the idea is that they don't necessarily look exactly like the arrow that's next to it. So kind of give you an ability to swap up your arrows. And I really did that here. So, you know, I've used these circles and different lines and underlines, and you can use those to highlight things. And so even though they're all, like in this case, this whole row is underlined, they're still slightly different lines, so it'll look a little more like it's organic, or that it's not a copied line that you're using over and over again. So let's go ahead and see how this looks. So typical of like an e-learning course, you might have an image or something like this, and then adding a handwritten font really helps it pull out some of the content, so it gives a more personal touch. So maybe you're going to do something like this, and you're going to focus on, you know, dairy products. Right, so you've got your dairy products here, and you're going to do this. Now you want an arrow. Now if you're just using handwritten fonts and you do this in PowerPoint, you know, you're going to create an arrow and you'll get something that looks like this. Maybe you make it a little fatter, but it doesn't look like a hand-drawn arrow, so it doesn't kind of match this. So that's where you can come in here and use one of the arrows. So let's say we're going to use this arrow right here. I've got some more arrows here, so let's go ahead and use this arrow. Let's see, we'll take this arrow here. So we can copy that, Control C, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'll do Control V, and now you see I've got my arrow, and I'm just going to make it a little larger here, and you know, you can rotate it a bit. So now you've got an arrow that looks like it's hand drawn, and you can change the colors, you know, to maybe a lighter gray, or maybe it's a red color. And that'll look a little more organic and look like it belongs with the fonts rather than this. And you've got different arrow sizes, so you've got some different thicknesses and ways you can work with that. And you combine the rotation effect here like this. You can rotate the arrow so you don't have to be exactly perfect. But that's one way to do that. Then the other thing is here, for example, we've got some text and we want to do a text bubble here. So I've got one built, so we'll just go ahead and Control C that. We can take the text bubble, Control V it, and it's a font, so the only thing I need to do is just increase the size of it, and you know, you can play around with that, and then you've got your text bubble, and then we just take the text here and we'll move it, and now you've got your text inside a text bubble. Oops. So your handwritten text. Let's just move this over here. Okay, so we're just going to move this over. So you've got your handwritten text inside a text bubble. So that's how that would work. And then we'll look at these underlines and circles. So the underlines could be something like this. You could grab this, Control C, take it to a piece of paper, Control V. I'm going to make it red so it stands out. And then you know, I can underline it here, so I can underline a part of the document. And then I've created, if you look at that, multiple versions of the underline. So again, it looks a little more organic. And the other option you have is here, like the circle tool. So you can grab that and we can paste that. And then what we would do is just, let's make that red as well. And then we've got that, and we can circle parts of the screen. So maybe we're going to circle, you know, credit card here. And so that's how that would work. So hopefully you can get some value out of those fonts.